Hey, this is Sporty King coming to you live on Gift Friday. I've created Gift Friday because so often you'll hear people use the cliche TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But I've always said to you, what allure does Friday have to the person that took their last breath on Thursday? Therefore, I've decided to always use TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT. Thank God it's tonight. Because that really is the key, is the fact that you get a chance to start the day waking up, and then you get a whole day to do it again, and the blessing and the possibility to go back to sleep and do it again tomorrow. So that's why I say TGIT, thank God it's today. But what I've also done, what I've done with Gift Friday, is I've taken since I always make sure that you see my path is to have you control your vocabulary rather than allowing your vocabulary to control you. So what I've done is control TGIF by taking the T and moving it to the end to create GIFT. God is for today. See, now we've got something really worth celebrating each single day, that God is for today. And what I'll do each Friday is read you one of my original poems, share how you might be able to use it in your family, social, or business life, then gift it to you with a downloadable PDF that you'll be able to go right from. I'll put the link in after the broadcast. That gives me time to put the video up on the site as well. But then you'll be able to go in and take and download the PDF and have a savable copy for yourself. So especially, I want to say, especially during these times where people are forced into considering getting a new job or possibly becoming an entrepreneur, we tend to hear, hey, you're not in this alone, as encouragement of support. Yet we must also hear it as an awareness that someone else is under pressure. You see, there's a person who has to make a hiring decision, and that person is connected to you as someone whose outcome may impact them losing their job or getting promoted. Likewise, there's that entrepreneurial part. There's that client who may have to decide to potentially switch product loyalty to give your business a chance. So yeah, you're not in this alone, but the pressure is also not strictly on you. So today's poem is called Fruit of Thy Labor, and it's from my book, I Found Out I'm Dying, a celebration of life, about the fact that physically we're all dying from the day we're born. Get over it. But some people act like they're never going to die. And then what we also do is we miss the subtitles in life. See, we get caught up in the headlines, and then we get angry, we get our emotions going, but the subtitle is us. This book is not about dying. It's about celebrating life. So look for the subtitles in life as well. That's going to make a difference. But this poem starts with an introduction as to why I wrote it. Because see, a lot of times what I'll do with my poetry is, instead of just having the poem, I'll tell you why I wrote the poem, because I think that gives you a better chance of understanding, because so much of understanding is in context. So that'll give you a better chance of understanding what my motivation was for writing the poem. And then you'll see some of the imagery that I may put in it, because that's the beauty of being a poet, is that we use imagery. We don't necessarily use the exact words of what's happening. We like to paint that picture. So I write introductions in my book, and not for every single poem, but groups of poems sometimes. This one happens to have an introduction, and it comes right after a poem about patience, which is another thing I want to harp on today. So, a huge part of communication is patience. Fruit of Thy Labor is a poem about the fact that we sometimes place a higher value on our time than we do on someone else's life. Don't think so? Think about that time you were more concerned about someone being late to meet you than you were about whether or not they were in an accident, trying to hurry because they knew how you didn't like to wait. And I'm not saying that you ought to take your time and let the world be thankful that you plan on showing up. What I am saying is that I believe you honestly make every effort to be on time when we meet. So if you're not here, my first concern becomes your safety. I wrote this poem while waiting to see a potential client with whom I did not have an appointment. He had agreed to see me at the request of a counterpart who I did have an appointment with, who felt my services might be more appropriate for this other department. I waited an hour and a half for his meeting to finish so that he could meet with me. But instead of focusing on the 90 minutes, I focused on the fact that I had waited 39 years to talk to someone about paying me for my gift. So this poem is called Fruit of Thy Labor. Actually, it was no work at all. Instead, it was a blessing, a forthcoming, a catastrophe. You had me wait patiently for what seemed like minutes, though actually a lifetime of ascension. And as I learned to take another step, my footing found solid ground, for my faith neither feared nor acknowledged seepage. My reward rejoiced in hidden silence, as my request spake not in words, but comfortably in the word. My cup is a basket, is a tub, is a river, and its running is a flow that remains calm by your touch. Fruit of thy labor. So you have to be willing and learn to be patient. Three things I want to give you that you can do to work on your patience. One, take your time and enjoy life. More importantly, enjoy it today. Because today is what life is really all about. This is the day that the Lord has made, right? TGIT. Thank God it's today. Two, recognize, you are not in this alone. Yet you are not the only one under pressure. We have to remember that. I will always say to you, put yourself first. Because once you take care of yourself, you take care of a lot of people around you. But if you don't, and so you have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. But you also have to recognize that as you do that, you are not alone, but you are also not the only one under the pressure of having to do so. So if everybody is handling their pressure the best they can, guess what? We're all taking care of one another by taking care of ourselves. And that's why number three is to be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're not going to get everything on the first chance. Think about all the things that you've gone through. Again, even in this poem, I was talking about, I had been, let's see, at that time I was 39. So I was 40. I had been in business for 2 years. And what I was actually doing was driving from Chicago to New York. But I had stopped in New Jersey, was a friend of mine had arranged, rest in peace, I'm going to give out a shout out to Vincent Anderson. He had arranged for me to have a meeting with this person at an agency who he thought my poetry and my speaking would be good for. And the guy, after meeting with me, said, no, I don't think so. But you know what? There's another department. And so that's what happened, is that I sat and waited because he called the other guy, said, would you mind meeting with this guy? And the guy said, I can, but I'm in a meeting. And so I had to wait. But that's the key, is recognizing that I have patience with myself. I have patience with myself. I forgave myself. And that's what you have to do. You're going to make some errors as you do the twists and turns, especially if you decide to become an entrepreneur. So have a lot of patience with yourself. And lastly, let me re-click that too. If you decide to look for a new job during this pandemic season, maybe you got laid off, or maybe you've chosen to leave your job. Well, guess what? The labor pool is much larger now. So you have to be more patient. So make sure that you get somebody to double check your resume. Look for typos in your resume. It makes a huge difference right now, because one typo could be the difference between you and another person, because sometimes it's a close tiebreaker. Patience, patience, patience. Be patient with yourself and keep working. And that's the fruit of thy labor. Keep working. It's going to be okay. Have a safe weekend. I'll be back on Monday for my Monday moment. That comes here at 1 o'clock. And then on Wednesday for Glue Wednesday, Glue, Glue, God's love undoes everything. Not that it tears it apart, but that it keeps it together. And it's the genesis of even this broadcast, Gift Friday, as well as Monday Moment. So now I'm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday bringing you an inspirational message with 3 different time allotments. Monday is a much shorter, it's 1 to 2 minute inspirational message. Wednesday is going to be 30 to 45 minutes more interactive with you online and in the thread. And then Friday, your gift is going to be me reading the poem, explaining it, hoping it's something that you can use, and then gifting it to you. 10 to 12 minutes is my goal on Fridays. So thank God for you. Keep sharing your gift. And remember, God is for today. I'm Sporty King. Thank you for watching Gift Friday. Ciao.